Hey everyone, welcome to the show. So, yesterday I shared with you guys how Democratic candidate Afton Ben was really scaring Donald Trump and the Republicans. They were so nervous because the special election in Tennessee was so close. It was a massive long shot, but we knew that it could serve as a sign for what's to come in the midterms, and it definitely did. So, as expected, the Republican candidate Matt Van Epps ended up winning. Wasn't a shock because again, it was a very big stretch. It was a big long shot. But the Democrat managed Ben. I mean, she managed to cut Donald Trump's 2024 numbers by almost 2/3. So, as I mentioned yesterday, that Tennessee district, which is the seventh district, it is blood red. Last year, Trump won it. If you didn't catch my video yesterday, Trump won it by 22 points. And in that same election in 2024, the incumbent Republican candidate, his name is Mark Green, he won it by 21.5%. Well, take a look at this. Or this is his numbers, I should say. So I'll bring up the other graphic in a second. So yesterday, Democrat Afton Ben lost that seat by less than 16,000 votes. Take a look. This is unbelievable. I almost said Epstein. Van Epps won by less than 9 points. So little over 8% he won by. That should serve as a massive wake-up call to the Republican Party because there are tons of swing districts and less than ruby red districts across the country, and they're going to be up for grabs in the midterms. Again, this is a, plus 20, plus 22% red district, and they barely eked it out. I shouldn't say barely. I mean, 8% isn't barely. 1 or 2, 3% would be barely. But it was not good. It was not a good showing considering how much other Republicans have won and how much Trump won. So they could not have possibly, and this is a really important key, they could not have possibly had a better shot in this election. Besides the fact that this is such a ruby red district, by all accounts, this Van Epps guy was a pretty strong candidate. I mean, he's a former state commissioner. He's an Army veteran. He's not some lunatic like some of the other people they've put up. He doesn't have all these scandals like so many of their other candidates that they ran last year. And again, hardcore right-wing district, right? Just 1 year ago, elected Republican candidates by huge margins. If that kind of district can't cut down or can get cut down, I should say, to a 8 plus, less than 9% lead, imagine the slaughter in other less MAGA districts. And consider this, the healthcare subsidies haven't expired yet. So we haven't seen those premiums skyrocket. We haven't seen the other premiums skyrocket, not even include the ACA included healthcare plans, because as we've been told and as I've shared with you guys, health insurance companies are just ramming through like these massive increases, like 15%, 30%, sometimes 50% increases on premiums. So even without these subsidies expiring, anybody who's trying to get insurance is just going to get kicked in the teeth this next year. So anyway, that's going to make things even worse for Republicans, right? Because you're going to have, there's probably a good number of voters in this country, not probably, we know there are a good number of voters who are checked out. Whether it's because Trump won last year and they're just so happy and they're, they don't care and so they're not paying attention anymore, or because they're just busy working and don't have the time and don't pay attention to politics in general. But they're going to get a wake-up call. Those people are going to receive their bills or start looking for health insurance, and they're going to be really pissed. Plus, a lot of voters were willing to give Trump time. I've heard this over and over again in the focus groups. They make the excuse that, oh, well, Biden for 4 years, he destroyed the economy, made things horrible. He's such a screw up. It takes Trump time to fix that. It's not going to happen in 1 year. Okay, well, what happens when we're 2 years into the Trump administration and it's now the midterms and things are either still the same, they still suck, or they're actually getting worse? So have fun, Republicans. Don't say we didn't warn you. Turns out the American people don't actually like what's laid out in Project 2025 because it sucks. Because Republicans suck, their policies suck, and they only benefit the wealthy. And that's what Americans are waking up to and realizing. This is why so many Republicans are thinking of cutting bait and getting out of Dodge. Just today, in fact, Nancy Mace now said, oh, I may step down before the end of my term. I may just walk because I don't like the way Republicans treat women. What? Republicans don't treat women well? Gee, who could have told you that, Nancy Mace? Anyway, that woman, I don't know if she needs some hormones. I don't know if she needs some depression meds. I don't know. I don't know what's going on with her, but she's wacko. She is a wacko. Anyway, would be happy to see her and Marjorie Taylor Greene and all the rest of them gone. All right, guys. So, wasn't a win, but we didn't think that it was going to be a win. But it was really good news because every expert was saying if it's even 10 points, meaning the race in Tennessee, if Afton Ben can even get within 10% of Van Epps, it will be a huge, huge shift. It will be just, kind of a political earthquake. So the fact that she got it down to just over 8, or I guess I should say just under 9, single digits, yeah, really bad for Republicans. Yay. All right. Thank you all so much for watching and listening. Please like, please share, and subscribe. Please donate if you can. Love you all. Take care. Talk with you soon.